Better introduce the members of the team that are taking part in this morning. So I've got Chirag Bari, who is our International Operations Manager. You'll be hearing from him. Georgia Allen, our Projects and Relationships Manager. You'll be hearing from her. Amy Liebtal, our Communications Manager. And last but not least, Alan Croft, our Business Development Manager. So we're going to start off by reviewing what ISWAN has been doing in 2025, which proved to be another very busy year for us. And like everybody, we've been working against a backdrop of geopolitical upheaval, fast-moving technology, and a sense of being permanently on the back foot. As an organisation that relies on the financial support of others, we've also been operating within a tougher financial environment as well. But that said, we've made considerable progress towards our strategic objectives and been able to maintain our focus on supporting seafarers, which is, of course, our reason for existing. After the meeting, we'll be circulating our latest annual review, which will include much of the content that you will see today. So to get us started, here's just a short video of 2025. Thanks, Amy. So as you will know, our core service, the one that we're best known for, is the provision of 24/7 multilingual, multi-platform helplines for seafarers and their families. So I'm going to start with a bit about what we heard from seafarers on our helplines in 2025. Now, our helplines are a rich source of information about the realities of life at sea and can often provide an early indicator of overlooked or emerging challenges that seafarers are facing. In recent years, strengthening our use of helpline data has been a key focus of our work, both to inform our own projects and services, but also to provide insights into seafarer welfare trends on behalf of ISWAN members, but also the wider maritime industry. This is a brief overview then of some of the key trends that we're seeing through the two free helplines, Seafarer Help, which is available here to all seafarers around the world. And then Yacht Crew Help, our specialist helpline for crew working in the yachting industry. So in 2025, we saw the continuation of a number of key trends on seafarer help. The arrival of high-speed internet at sea is impacting the way that seafarers use our helplines. In the earliest days of seafarer help, people would contact us with very straightforward information requests, such as where's the welfare centre in the port that I'm going to be going into. Today, onboard internet provides easy access to this kind of information, and as a result, we've seen a steep decline in general inquiries of this nature. This trend saw the number of new contacts to seafarer help fall by 11% last year. However, at the same time, we saw an increase in seafarers reaching out to seafarer help for support with more complex issues. Last year, the number of contacts relating to mental health challenges increased by 36% year on year, following a 49% increase in 2024. This included a worrying increase in the number of seafarers reporting suicidal thoughts. We also supported a greater number of seafarers who experienced abandonment, reflecting the rising issue of seafarer abandonment globally. We provide emotional and practical support in 39 cases of abandonment, assisting 391 seafarers, and that's up from 277 in 2024. Now, our helplines are unique in that we remain in contact with seafarers for as long as our assistance is needed. As the proportion of complex issues that we handle increases, we're seeing more contacts requiring follow-up support. In 2025, almost half of helpline contacts had at least one follow-up communication, and this has increased every year since 2022. Yacht Crew Help is a much newer service, launched in 2020 in recognition of the lack of specialist welfare support for crew working in yachting. In 2025, we saw a 76% increase in new contacts as awareness about the service continues to grow amongst the crew. The number of crews seeking support in relation to finding employment within yachting more than doubled last year. Finding safe routes into employment has consistently been a key issue raised to Yacht Crew Help, and as a result, has formed a part of our wider work to support crew welfare. 2025 also saw steep increases in the number of yacht crew seeking support in relation to mental health concerns, which increased by 55% on the 2024 level, and experiences of abuse, bullying, harassment, or discrimination, which were 29% higher year on year. And as we also see in data from Seafarer Help, women contacting Yacht Crew Help were substantially more likely to raise mental health challenges and experiences of abuse than their men colleagues. In the coming weeks, we're going to publish detailed reports with insights from 2025 from both helplines, so do keep an eye out for those. Now, just to remind you what the helpline does and how it works, I'm just going to share a short video now. Now, this one is about Yacht Crew Help, but it is exactly the same principle for Seafarer Help. So, Amy, if you could just show the video, please. Thanks, Amy. I make no apologies for keep hammering the message about what the helpline does. It's really important that as many seafarers as possible and their families understand how the service works and what it can do for them. So I'm now going to hand over to Chirag Bari, our International Operations Manager, and he's going to take us through some of the highlights from our other work during the past year. Chirag.
Thanks very much, Simon. Hello, everyone. Let me share with you the brief about this year. So a big step forward for us this year was gaining consultative status at the IMO. This gives us the opportunity to bring our work to a wider and more influential audience. We look forward to building relationships with other NGOs who will be present and, of course, the member states to further the welfare agenda. Our report and guidance for maritime stakeholders on the impact of decarbonization on seafarer well-being has been well received and attracted a lot of positive attention. Sponsored by the Shipowners Club, the report highlighted that seafarers need to be put at the center of decarbonization agenda and their expertise recognized. In this year, we launched our Families Outreach Program in India and the Philippines. Families are arguably the most important factor in a seafarer support network, but they receive negligible recognition or support for what they do. The program is designed to help families deal with the challenges they face and how to support their seafarer more effectively. A big thanks to Fleet Management, who collaborated with us to create a welfare handbook to support seafarers, families, and maintain their connection to those on board. We have maintained a continuous program of Seafarer Education Awareness Session, which is SEAS, for crews designed to increase awareness of mental well-being and stress management, promote help-seeking behavior, provide practical coping strategies for life at sea, and build individual resilience. Work on the Social Interaction Matters project has continued, and the Phase 3 report has just been published, thanks to the support and participation of IRA, V-Ships, Sci-Fi, Dole Yachts, and YCO. The report highlights the relationship between the social interaction and the crew health, safety, and well-being across the shipping, cruise, and super yacht industries. In particular, it emphasizes that this is the first research of its kind conducted within the cruise and super yacht industries, and what this means for increasing the visibility and amplification of crew welfare priorities. The recruitment of a dedicated project manager for our Welfare of Yacht Crew project has significantly boosted ISWAN's impact and profile in the super yacht industry. As Secretariat and lead of the cross-industry Changing Tack Working Group, we collaborate with founding partners, Seafares Charity, UK Sailing Association, Nautilus International, the CHIRP, to drive proactive crew-centered change. In 2025, we formalized a partnership with the Super Yacht Alliance to act as their crew welfare think tank, with focus groups launching in 2026 to generate practical solutions to priority issues. Through increased engagement via yacht crew help and strong industry collaboration, ISWAN is now both a frontline support provider and a strategic leader shaping the international yacht crew welfare agenda. In the Philippines, we have now set up ISWAN Philippines, a formally registered branch of ISWAN. This was not an easy process, but with the help to cement our presence in the country and demonstrate our commitment to supporting Filipino seafarers and their families. In 2025, we held 2 events, one in Manila and the other one in Mumbai, to launch ISWAN initiatives and anticipate doing something similar in 2026. Events are a big commitment when you have a small team, so we are only holding them when we have a specific piece of work we want to highlight or get engagement from the industry. Thank you very much. Over to you, Sam.
Thank you, Chirag, for that roundup of 2025. And of course, that's really only a snapshot of all that we've been doing at ISWAN. But of course, the most important thing that we do is the direct support to seafarers and their families to help them to cope with the challenges of a seafaring career. So to illustrate this work, we're just going to hear a short story now about 2 seafarers that we helped recently. And I think that's a really good indication of what I was saying earlier about the complexity of the calls that we receive now and the amount of time that often has to be invested in dealing with those types of cases. Okay, so now let's turn our attention then to 2026. For this, I'm going to ask Georgia Allen, who's our Projects and Relations Manager, to talk through.
Hello, everyone. Good day. Looking ahead, 2026 looks to be as challenging as 2025, with continued uncertainty being about the only thing that we can actually be certain of. But we will be relying on our strategic plan to help keep us on track. As a general principle, we believe we have most impact by identifying any overlooked but high impact issues and by working with our members such as yourselves to find solutions. Here's what we're planning to do in 2026. We recognise that the shore staff of shipping companies and manning agencies, including human resource personnel, family liaison representatives, emergency response teams, managers and leaders all play a very pivotal role in supporting seafarers and their families. Their awareness, empathy and effective communication can greatly enhance seafarer well-being, whilst also contributing to a healthier, more resilient workplace. It's equally important to acknowledge that shore staff themselves face pressures and challenges in management responsibilities, and that their welfare and mental health are critical for sustaining effective support systems. So to address these needs, ISWAN has developed a specialised presentation drawing on insights from the Family Outreach Programme, FOP, which I'm sure some of you are familiar with, expert input from psychologists and welfare specialists, and real-life case studies from Seafarer Help. These sessions will equip shore staff with the practical knowledge, tools and confidence to respond effectively. We are currently working with BIC and the World Shipping Council to develop a survey of seafarers to better understand the challenges that they face due to poor practices around container packing and stowage. Sometimes containers are not packed correctly or not stowed in a safe way. This can create danger for the ship, the cargo, and for the people working with containers, both at sea and on shore. We want to learn about the problems seafarers see in their daily work, such as poor packing, damaged cargo, or unsafe stowage. And ultimately, we're hoping to improve how containers are packed, stored, checked, and handled by all people involved in the process, thereby supporting better safety practices at sea. We have recently reorganized the management structure of our helplines team and recruited a new head of helpline services, Laura Stenhouse, who has an extensive experience of strategic development of helpline services and call centres. She will be focusing on service quality, use of technology to improve efficiency, and training and development for the team. We anticipate that the trends we have seen in 2025 towards more complex calls will continue, and we're also going to need to have a better understanding of the impact AI is going to have on the way that seafarers use our service. We're working on setting up a legal entity in India, which for anyone who knows India will understand how complex that can be. But work continues and we do hope to make significant progress this year. Thanks to funding from the Seafarers Charity and Trinity House, we're going to be further developing our Safe at Sea, It Takes All of Us campaign that aims to raise awareness of the personal safety challenges that women and other marginalised demographics face in the shipping, cruise and superyacht industries. The campaign focuses on the importance of allyship and the role that seafarers can play in making life at sea safer for all. In 2026, we will be developing culturally nuanced versions of existing resources, as well as new engaging educational tools to reach a wider audience. We will be promoting our family outreach programme, seafarer education and awareness sessions, and the new programme for shoreside staff amongst ship owners and managers. So if you're interested in knowing more, please do get in touch with us. We will be attending all relevant meetings at the IMO, such as the Maritime Safety Committee and the Council, and we were at HGW last week, which was our very first meeting. We will have to juggle our resources and be careful to focus on the issues that we are best placed to take part in. We will be drawing on our helpline data to inform and influence and to do our best to raise the profile of seafarer welfare in this important forum. Through insights from our helpline and industry engagement, ISWAN has identified a growing green crew crisis. That means many young people entering yachting are facing high competition for limited jobs, often arriving uninformed about what the work truly entails. The pressure to secure work can lead to lowered personal boundaries, unsafe behaviours, and mental health challenges. To address this, we're developing a new project building on our existing personal safety precautions for job-seeking yacht crew resource. This will include a companion guide for leaders, best practice recruitment guidance, targeted safety and risk awareness campaigns, accessible new formats, and an international dissemination strategy to help crew enter the industry safely and well prepared. Finally, under phase 4 of our Social Interaction Matters project, we're developing new seafarer-facing guidance that aims to be user-friendly, accessible, engaging, and easy to read, guiding those with interest about what it takes to become a social ambassador on how to carry out this role effectively on board. We're looking forward to publishing the guidance later this year, accompanied by a targeted campaign aimed directly at seafarers across the cruise, superyacht, and shipping industries. Thank you.
Thank you, Georgia. So it would be foolish to expect plain sailing in 2026, and there are likely to be challenges in what we hope to achieve. For example, there's no escaping geopolitics, is there? Just look at the news. Such events also mean that seafarers often find themselves at the sharp end of international events. This was keenly demonstrated in the case that we presented earlier, but we also continue to support seafarers affected by the ongoing war in Ukraine. One such seafarer had been abandoned on a vessel that was under missile fire and seeking a practical repatriation support while juggling concerns about their future financial insecurity if they accepted the repatriation offer. Of course, we also continue to hear from seafarers who fear the impact of emerging and ongoing geopolitical instability on piracy and shipping routes, with one seafarer anonymously sharing their significant distress surrounding port calls in Israel and the vulnerability to Houthi piracy attack. Sanctions and the rise of the so-called shadow fleet have serious implications for seafarers, particularly those who are desperate to find work and don't realise what they're getting into. And this, of course, has links to the increase in cases of abandonment and recruitment fraud. These are difficult cases to deal with and are often beyond our ability to help in really practical ways, other than to provide really valuable emotional support. In these cases, we refer to the ITF, who do fantastic work in this area and have a lot more clout and expertise where it matters than we have. We're also currently collaborating with ITF and other relevant stakeholders to raise awareness amongst seafarers themselves of the issues of recruitment fraud. Drugs trafficking and the risk of criminalisation remains a serious issue for seafarers who are extremely vulnerable to such issues. We'll be looking at initiatives to address this, which is becoming an awful lot more prevalent, but there are no easy answers to such a problem. Piracy or terrorist activities have a huge impact on seafarers and their families. We've supported the families of 2 farers killed in serious incidents at sea, and have also had cases of crew members who were being held by pirates who then left the ship without harming them. But you can't ignore the traumatic impact of such incidents that has such far-reaching effects for them and their families. We've seen a sharp increase in cases involving seafarers having suicidal thoughts, particularly amongst young seafarers. We don't expect this to change in 2026. Cases are in general more complex, requiring ever more time and resource to deal with every case effectively. Our work on the Families Outreach Programme has highlighted the need for greater financial literacy for seafarers and their families. The nature of seafaring means that financial issues can be complex to navigate, so we're developing a specific module to accompany the Families Outreach Programme. The ongoing impact of technological advancements, such as increased automation and decarbonisation, will of course continue. We want to look at the subject of techno-stress, which was raised during our work that we did on decarbonisation and the welfare of seafarers, so that we can better understand the subject and how it might be affecting seafarers. And of course, we cannot ignore AI, its effect on seafarers, the industry as a whole, and indeed our own operations. We'll be doing our best to differentiate ourselves from any AI support systems that put themselves out there, emphasising the importance of human contact via our helplines. And we'll be looking to expand our network of ambassadors in countries where we don't have a physical presence to help raise our profile and help deal with any cases involving seafarers from those countries. And the last and probably most significant challenge will be finding the resources to do all these things. We've made great strides in terms of reducing our reliance on grants and donations. 3 years ago, we were looking at about 85% of our income was from grants and donations. That's now down to about 45%. And it's still our intention to be as financially sustainable as possible in future years. But the path to sustainability is a rocky one. And we've taken a few knocks in this past year. We're immensely grateful to our long-term funders, such as the TK Foundation, the Seafarers Charity, ITF Seafarers Trust, and Trinity House, who continue to support us. But we're also very grateful to those members that have given us over and above their annual subscriptions, such as BIC and the Marshall Islands Register. This support is what makes all of our work possible. I'd like to emphasise here, we don't need money to keep us afloat, but we do need it to keep sailing rather than sitting at anchor. So I'm now going to hand over to Alan Croft, our Business Development Manager, to talk about how members can support us. Alan.
Thank you, Simon. Hi all. As we move into the new financial year, we're inviting members to deepen their partnership with ISWAN as we continue strengthening our support for seafarers worldwide. Alongside renewing your membership, a simple yet powerful way you can help is by introducing ISWAN to trusted partners within your network who share your commitment to seafarer well-being. Warm introductions from members often lead to high-value collaborations with mutual benefit, expanding the reach and impact of our work. We've seen how these partnerships create real change. Our recent collaboration with Mar Trust, for example, is helping to improve awareness and access to mental health and financial well-being support across the maritime sector. Their financial contribution is supporting ISWAN's new Power BI dashboard designed to give the industry deeper insight into key welfare issues such as financial strain, fatigue, isolation, and contractual pressures. At the same time, integrating ISWAN's resources into the Mar Trust Crew app means more seafarers can get help exactly when they need it, particularly younger crew who are increasingly turning to digital channels. This kind of forward-looking partnership is an excellent example of how organisations can strengthen welfare across the industry while deepening their own ESG impact. Building on this momentum, we are pleased to introduce our 2026 Pillars of Support, strategic areas where organisations can make a more substantial contribution to global seafarer well-being. Becoming an ISWAN pillar includes all membership benefits, plus closer collaboration and deeper engagement across areas such as seafarer-centred change, techno-stress and digital health, safety and well-being initiatives, support for seafarer families, and nurturing the generation of crew. Contribution levels are flexible and can be discussed based on the pillar and type of involvement your organisation may wish to explore. For members looking to further strengthen their support, upgrading to become a commissioned helpline client is another highly impactful route. This provides your crew and their families with direct access to a dedicated, confidential 24/7 support line offered through WhatsApp, live chat, email, and phone. Commission partners also receive quarterly company-specific data reports, bespoke promotional materials to raise awareness on board, and optional crew awareness seminars to help ensure seafarers understand how and when to reach out. We can also work together to develop a clear support protocol tailored to your organisation's needs, further enhancing safety and well-being across your operations. Whichever pathway feels right for you, renewing your membership, making warm introductions, commissioning a helpline, or exploring one of our pillars of support. Your involvement helps ensure seafarers receive the care, understanding, and connection they deserve, whether in the world, wherever in the world they may be. So I'm now going to hand over to Amy Leapthall, our communications manager, to talk about the annual review. Thank you.
Thank you, Alan. We're delighted to give you all the first look at our ISWAN 2024 to 25 annual review, which we'll send out after this meeting and we'll be releasing publicly later this week. The data in the annual review covers the previous financial year from the 1st of April 2024 to the 31st of March 2025, as we've done previously, but we've also included all our activities from this period and up until the end of 2025. Our next annual review will focus on the calendar year 2026. Do have a read, we hope you enjoy it, and please share anything you find interesting or noteworthy with your networks. On a different note, as you know, we send out a members e-newsletter every quarter to keep you updated on our activities and share insights from our helplines. We're happy to have had so many new members this year join us this past year. So we'd like to take this opportunity to ask you all when and what you would like to hear from us. Here's what our current email and newsletter look like as a reminder. The last one was sent out in October 2025, so some of our newer members won't have received one yet. I'll now launch a quick 3-question poll so you can share your feedback. We'd love to hear your thoughts. Give everyone a little bit longer and then I'll close the poll and move on. Thank you very much for your answers. We will follow up after this meeting to give you the opportunity to tell us what you are most interested in hearing about in these e-newsletters, and then we'll take away everyone's feedback and use it to design your first members update of 2026. Finally, we would love to tell our networks on social media about today's session, so we will take a quick screenshot of everyone. If you would prefer not to appear in this, please turn off your camera now. And for everyone else, we'll take the screenshot in 3, 2, let's just close this. 1. Right, so I'll hand over to Simon now. Thank you very much.
Okay, so there's an opportunity here to respond to any questions that you have. We've got one in the column here. Are we able to receive a copy of this video? I think that's referring to one of the videos that was in there. Yes, of course, we will circulate that for you. No problem at all. The Q&A button is at the top row there if you want to just put in a question, and then the team will do their best to answer. And if there are no questions, I'll assume that we've done a brilliant presentation which has given you all the information you need. Okay, so in the absence of questions, then quite happy to sort of just say thank you very much indeed for joining us. Hope you found it useful. We don't know, of course, what's going to happen in the coming weeks. There's a lot of things for us to be concerned about. We're not sure exactly how things are going to work out for us. Calls are starting to come in from seafarers who are affected. We will do our best to manage all of that. If anybody, any organisation wants to talk to us about additional support that we might be able to provide, please do ask. Amy.
Yes, we have a couple of questions in the chat, Simon. I'm sorry,
oh,
in the
okay.
Q&A.
I can't. Oh, they're in. I can only see one. So I need to. They're in the chat. Okay.
In the Q&A, so we have from Sarah, are we able to receive a copy of this video or a link so we can share to our crew followers on the social platforms and send in a newsletter to our database? Yes, that's fine. We can share links to all the videos and clips shared in this presentation. And then the second question from Bhaskar, maybe too early at this stage. However, is there a thought to put something out in relation to crew mental health and well-being for the ongoing crisis in the Middle East?
Yeah, certainly. So we put stuff out on social media yesterday, and please do circulate the details of Seafarer Help to anyone that you want. And as I say, we've got calls already starting to come in. But I think this is one of those situations that's going to unfold. For us, it's a question of relentless communication, trying to get the message across in as many places as we possibly can. What we will do is at least be able to talk to seafarers, try to help them through the issues that they have, try to negotiate, help other organisations to help with them. We will work in partnership with our colleagues at Stella Maris, Mission to Seafarers, all those who operate in ports, who are already doing work, as I understand it. And we'll be talking to those other organisations to see how we can best coordinate things in the same way as we did with during the pandemic and also at the outset of the war in Ukraine. Any other questions, anybody?
I think Deepak has a question. Actually, Deepak, all the microphones are muted. Let me see if I can just unmute you.
Deepak, if you turn off your mic now, turn on your mic, sorry.
Sure, please. So in the face of this unfolding, unraveling situation, rather rapid in the Middle East, I have a suggestion. For instance, every government, every jurisdictional authority is now sharing emergency contact details of their own respective diplomatic missions and posts across the entire Middle East. For instance, the Ministry of External Affairs of the Government of India has shared with me an extensive list in inventory of who they need to approach for Indian nationals, of course. Of course, they will not certainly turn down anyone else who seeks their assistance, but I'm happy to share that with Chirag if you can disseminate those emergency contact numbers set up by the Foreign Office of the Government of India. So I think that will be a huge resource. And likewise, if you're able to source such information, I think it's worth sharing because I think at the hour of crisis, at the end of the day, it's only the diplomatic mission fundamentally who's able to, come to an assistance on the ground in terms of either evacuation or an outreach.
Thank you, Deepak. And Jason Zeidemer at ICMA has already sort of started doing that, circulating some of that information, and we will continue to do so as well. Yes, thank you.
You're welcome.
Any other questions, anyone?
We have a question from Ral in the Q&A. Any plan to follow up the tech stress work? Yes, we do actually. We have a potential partner. We would like to produce some guidance, a sort of guidance resource for seafarers. So this is in the pipeline, but TBC, watch this space.
Yes, indeed. It could be some really interesting piece of work here, actually. Thank you, Ralph, for raising that. Okay. Amy, you've got a poll that you want to use now, don't you?
Yes, we'd love to get everyone's feedback on this meeting today, how you found it, and what you thought. So I'll launch that now. Please do share your thoughts, and that will help us with future meetings. Everyone, a few more seconds and then we'll close the poll. Thank you for all the responses so far. Thank you very much, everyone. Simon, over to you.
Okay, thanks everybody for your time and attention, particularly at a very busy time. Good luck in the weeks ahead. I think we're all going to need it. Thank you very much indeed, and take care wherever you are.